Welcome in, everybody, to TV Sports 27, another week of arena football action as the Grand Rapids Rampage are just 2 games away from completing the very first perfect season in arena football history. Now, I'm putting an asterisk next to that because if you guys are well versed on your indoor football knowledge, of course, there's many indoor football leagues. There's been undefeated teams in AF2, which was the developmental league for arena football. There's been undefeated teams in the IFL, which is the indoor football league. But for this league, the Arena Football League, which we count from when it started in 1987 to current day, there has never been a team that's finished undefeated. Now, we've had some close teams. We've had, the SaberCats that went 17-1, and we've had some really good Arizona Rattler teams. Never in this era. So we got Tony Graziani and the Austin Wranglers. Now, the Wranglers coming into this one with a 6-8 record. And you guys kind of know, those of you that have been keeping up with this series, you know that teams that are around that 500 mark are kind of battling for their playoff lives. So all of these games, pretty darn important. We're going to see how the Austin Wranglers take care of things. And Damian Grosh, my gosh, on the kick return, already coming up a little bit injured. So we're starting with the ball first. Now, this is kind of an interesting decision we've had to make because we've already clinched at 14-0. We have home field advantage. We've already clinched. And you're seeing an injury come up right there with Damian Grosh. That's something we're really going to have to keep an eye on. And that has been the debate that we've had the last couple of weeks is, do we try to go for an undefeated season or, risking injury, all that stuff, or do we pull a 2009 Indianapolis Colts and kind of give up on a season at 14-0 and then falter in the postseason like they did? A lot of things that we gotta find out. Good chance to practice here, though. We have the starters in right now, but this is one of 2 arenas in the game. The other one is Las Vegas, which is where the Arena Bowl always takes place, that has these rounded end zones in the back of the field, which means you have a lot less room to make plays. You have less of an end zone to score touchdowns in. So that is something as well that we are going to have to keep an eye on and continue to practice on. Now, we already played in Vegas once this year. We played the Gladiators, and like every team, we've wiped them out. We beat everybody. But for the Austin Wranglers, another chance to practice with these end zones, knowing that possibly in 3 to 4 weeks, we could be in the Arena Bowl if we keep winning. So, and Shane Stafford is going to get sacked. Is that 62 or 92? That was, let's see, we get a little bit of shoving here. That is 62. That is Steve Warren of the Austin Wranglers coming in there with that shot. So, man, it's something we're going to continue to watch throughout this ball game is the possibility of injuries, and if they start piling up. Now, Stafford, he got knocked out of the game last week, you guys remember. He had the head injury. Going to toss that one out to Fleming, and not making much progress here as we've kind of stalled out a bit on this opening drive. It's the undefeated season. Now, certainly if we were to lose this game, I would think that week 16, which is against Chicago, would be having all the backups in. Stafford out to Fleming again. Is that enough for the first down?
Fleming makes the reception. 11-yard gain on the play.
They are going to give it. So first and goal. It's a good thing because I just went right in and called a play. So let's see. Now we'll get a chance. Let's see. Use these cornered end zones. We're going to test out one of these corners. Oh my goodness. And there, I think that was the rounded end zone. I think Damian Grosh stopped short. Yes, SK Money. We've been waiting. SK Money is in the house. What's going on? Damian Grosh. We're talking about these end zones, these rounded end zones that we got in Austin. I think he stopped short knowing he ran out of room. So that is something we're going to have to contend with if we make it to the Arena Bowl in Las Vegas. That pass deflected, knocked away by Henry Douglas. What an opening drive, chewing up first half of this quarter here in this ball game. Still 0-0 opening drive, Grand Rapids and Austin. And Stafford, it's going to be picked off in the end zone. Unbelievable. SK Money gets here. Tommy Connor with the interception. That is something we have seen the last couple of weeks here, is Shane Stafford has been turning the ball over much more than he was throughout the first half of the season. Wow, a drive that will end up in 0 points. So Tony Graziani going down in arena history is one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the history of Arena Football League. And not blaming him, not saying, you know, there are a lot of people that took in big contracts and they were offered. But a lot of people point out those big money contracts in the mid-2000s when you hit the 08 recession that kind of led to the original downfall of the first Arena Football League. Of course, it came back once before, and now this year, it's third iteration of the Arena Football League. But Graziani just, I mean, 2 passes to Emmanuel. Stanley Emmanuel getting him right down the field. I don't know how much he was paid. Can you Google that? How much was Tony Graziani paid in Arena Football in his heyday? Because he definitely took in a lot of money. He was originally with the Los Angeles Avengers. I'm going to hit you with my Arena Football knowledge. He was originally with the LA Avengers, and then the Philadelphia Soul opened up the checkbook, signed him over. They would eventually win the title, but not with Graziani at quarterback. It was with Matt Durazio, right? Wasn't it when they won the title in 08 against San Jose? I believe Durazio was the quarterback then, but it wasn't with Graziani. And handoff to Muhammad. Now, I played one season mode with Graziani. It's pretty fun. Umar Muhammad. They're going to go for the field goal attempt here. Is that how much he made? $200,000? I'm going to look up 2008 Arena Bowl. And it's no good. So we've had both teams lead drives down the field, and we have no points on the board. What an unreal rarity for Arena Football. Yeah, Matt Durazio, so he was the quarterback. He threw for 302 yards and 7 touchdowns with Chris Jackson, who was with our Georgia Force squad that we played with in a previous year. And then Mark Grebe, who not only played with the Las Vegas Outlaws in the XFL, but he was also the longtime quarterback of the San Jose SaberCats, who was on the losing end, but did win many an Arena Bowl in his time. He had 8 touchdowns. So, a lot of people, I guess, a controversial ending people had in that game. There was allegedly, you know, didn't cross the goal line or the onside kick situation or what have you. But it's all Arena Football history. What SK Money? What's happening, man? We got to get where's Paul? Where's WX? Where's Spence? I heard our good buddy Spencer. I think he might be getting married, man. Everyone's getting married these days. That's crazy. Stafford gets hit. That one's gonna fall incomplete though.
The pass falls incomplete. Marshall, the intended receiver, on the play.
And 24 seconds left, SK Money. We got no points on the board right now. Andrew Cross. I want to play Utah football after this. Utah Utes. Damian Groge for the first touchdown of the game, and there it is. The grocery store's express checkout. And the first quarter will wind down with just 7 points on the board. You do not see that in Arena Football.
The extra point attempt is good. At the end of the first quarter, the score is Grand Rapids 7, Austin
7-0. Don't forget TB Sports 27, like our good buddy SK Money has done. Follow along with us. Make sure you have those notifications turned on for Twitch as well as make sure you're subscribing to all the replays on YouTube. We got Patreon. We're going to upload this one early and ad-free on Patreon. Streamlabs as well. If you want to drop a message on the screen, it'll be featured top left of the screen over at Streamlabs. And, of course, if you're a coffee drinker, you can head over to Ko-fi. You can throw a little support over there that way for the channel. I want to know, and maybe SK Money's here, I want to know, do you guys want me to continue to play Super Mario Wonder on the channel? I haven't heard much feedback on it, and it hadn't gotten many views on YouTube. And you guys know I'm going on my trip in about 2 weeks or so to Japan. And so I'm going to need something to play on the flight. And if, you know, you guys don't really want to see the end of the game, I'll just play it on my own during the trip. But let me know. Reach out if you guys want me to continue to play Super Mario Wonder, or if you're enjoying those episodes which have gone up recently on YouTube. Let me know, because we're almost at the end of the game, and I would certainly finish it, but if not, I would spend the time with something else. Graziani going deep, and it is caught by Connor, who had that interception in the first half.
First and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
Andrew Cross in the Arena League. You don't think he'd make it in the NFL? We could make I think we can edit rookies. We can make an Andrew Cross. Graziani. Oh, but we're going to get the flag. You know about this rule, twisting and stunting, SK Money. Can't do it in the Arena League. So the Wranglers move to the 15. Graziani, the southpaw, and it is a touchdown.
Touchdown, Wranglers!
Stanley Emmanuel for the score. And Austin, they're a Remy Hamilton extra point away. He whiffed on the field goal, which was about the length of an extra point earlier. We are knotted up at 7 apiece here in the Arena Football. Week 15, that one heads off of the netting, the field goal netting, so it will drop out and be a touchback. So your next possession here for the Grand Rapids Rampage. Shane Stafford, Damian Grosh, nice catch down past the 25, just past midfield.
First and 10. Ball on the 20.
Have you picked out, SK Money, a favorite Arena Football team yet? Now, outside of the Grand Rapids Rampage, of course, but based on what you've seen, do you have a favorite Arena Football team that's really stood out to you? Stafford. Just avoiding the sack, going to the end zone, and it is caught by Corey Fleming for the touchdown. Shane Stafford's been making those kind of plays all season, and I'm pretty sure he broke the Venice Dragons. We have the New York Dragons. Maybe you can be a New York Dragons fan. Here's an Arena Football fun fact I can hit you with. There's the Jacksonville Sharks, which just joined the IFL. The Jacksonville Sharks were an Arena Football team, and then they switched over to the NAL for a number of years, and now they switched over to the IFL for this year. So that's a little fun fact. They've been a long-running Arena Football team, now joining their third different league now, and for my money, the #1 Arena League in the U.S., the IFL. The Jacksonville Sharks are their former Arena Bowl champion, former NAL champions as well. Of course, Aaron Garcia famously won his first Arena Football championship as a member of the Jacksonville Sharks, ending the dynasty, so to speak, of the Arizona Rattlers. I guess not really ending it, but the four-peat that Arizona could have had was stopped in its tracks with that Aaron Garcia victory over Arizona. But the fun fact about the Dragons, New York Dragons, is they had a rebrand that never saw the light of day. If you Google New York Dragons, I don't know what you would look to find it, but of course the original logo was black and red and yellow. Of course they would wear the all black with the orange numbers and the red helmets and stuff like that. In fact, my Utah Utes that I did, I kind of did uniforms where I mimicked the Dragons for a few years, where I did the red helmets and the all black. That was based off the New York Dragons. They did a rebrand, and if you Google New York Dragons and you see a logo with a green dragon that has the NY on it, that was a rebrand that they were going to do in 2009. But Arena Football, the original run, they went out of business, and that New York Dragons rebrand never saw the light of day. We had the logo. We knew they were going to change to black and green, but we never got uniforms, and that's our only memory of that, is that logo. Wow, Tony Graziani with another score, and we're going back and forth here in this one. So the Austin Wranglers at 6-8 SK money. They're looking to pull this one off. They want to pull the upset off. They want to end the undefeated season right now.
The extra point attempt is good.
So we got a minute 33. This is usually onside kick territory here in the Arena Football League, but the Wranglers will kick it deep. And, man, if you had the deuce, which is what they have in the IFL, Austin would be picking up 2 points left and right here, but not the case. They are avoiding the kick returns, though, which Damian Grosh, one of the tops in the league here. Stafford in his own end zone throws it, completes it to Corey Fleming. And Fleming gets drilled hard into the boards by Calvin Hunter. Let's get one more play to go before the 1 minute warning hits. I'd say this is a fast-moving first half. We're only about 15 minutes in, and we're coming to a close here. Stafford to Willis Marshall, touchdown. Grand Rapids. So Grand Rapids takes the lead back, and we got the extra point here. I'm going to get SK money because this is his first experience with Arena Football. I'm going to get SK money watching one of the Arena leagues this year. They're lining up like, yeah, let's do the onside kick. Let's do it. I'm trying to talk them into going to an Orlando Predators game. I know we got our tickets booked for the Pop-Tarts Bowl. SK money. You got to go to a Predators game. The Broncos are coming to Tampa. Boise State's coming next year. It's gonna be big business, man. Spring training. Who wants to go to spring training? Spring training in the book. Schmidt bounces up, and it will be recovered by Warren, who nearly runs into the end zone. Steve Warren. So timeout is going to be called. Now, we have our own timeout rules that we're doing. We made that announcement a couple of games ago where, due to the broken timing rules in this game, we're going to start calling timeouts if the clock would have stopped after a touchdown or a kickoff. If it warrants it, we're going to call a timeout, even if it benefits the other team. Just to be fair, that's how it goes in the league, and that's how the timing rules should go. So that's just how we're going to play it to make it more fair and reasonable. Graziani connecting with Anthony. And they're going to go hurry up offense here. Graziani, oh my goodness, swatted away. So with 40 seconds, Austin will go for it. Now, if they score is when they're going to have to decide onside kick or kick it deep. I would think onside kick would be your call. The handoff, and he doesn't make it. Umar Muhammad. And the Austin Wranglers denied at the goal line for the second time today. They could be up 28-21 right now. Well, they missed the extra point. I guess it would have been, or the field goal would have been 24-21. But regardless, my goodness, Shane Stafford now going deep. And it's caught by Willis Marshall in the touchdown.
Touchdown, Grand Rapids.
This is not the playoffs. This is week 15. So we got 1 week left to go and then the playoffs. Playoffs we'll probably do this weekend, most likely. So make sure you're there. Be there, be square. Extra point is good. Weekend. You want to say this weekend? You want to do it up this weekend? We'll get at least one playoff game if we're one and done. We might be toast. And then what do we do after that? I'll have just like a week or two, about 2 weeks maybe before my trip. Do we try to do some Utah football? Do we do Coach Shaq? What do we play? What do we play next? What do you guys want to see? RXFL, the Legends League? 26 seconds, Tony Graziani. They're going to get the ball to begin the second half, so it's kind of pretty advantageous for them to want to score here. The Wranglers call a timeout. That is their final timeout. So with these timing rules, we'll be able to stop the clock one more time. Stanley Emmanuel, my gosh, he's been like the guy so far. Wranglers trying to get one of those final playoff spots in the National Conference. It's still up for grabs, really, in the national side of things, SK Money. It's the Orlando Predators and the Dallas Desperados, and those last two spots are pretty much up for grabs at this stage of the game. I'd say the West, other than the final seed, oh my goodness, Willis Marshall nearly picked that one off. I would say in the West, it's pretty much going to be us, Grand Rapids, obviously, Utah, and Las Vegas. And then that final spot is kind of up for grabs. Nashville's hanging on to it, but it's open there. It's a fumble, and it's going to be picked up by the Rampage, and Joe Jacobs will run it in for the touchdown. And that is how quickly this season that we have turned things around, where we have games that are so close, like what we just saw, and then in a second, 21 points gets flipped our side. That is unreal. Extra point is good. And we can't stop the clock anymore. So timing rules for Austin, it's going to be whatever they do on the kick return. Whoops. Hit the pause button. I've never done that before. Flip the stick and hit the pause button. So we'll see what Austin does. They're going to get the ball, though, to begin the second half, and that is going to do it for the first half. It is 35-14, and the Grand Rapids Rampage looking to close in on 15-0. I have never done this in all the years that I have owned this game. We have just 6 quarters left for an undefeated season. Enjoy the Blue Chew halftime show, and when we return, it's the second half action. Can we hang on? Austin gets the ball first. What is Tony and Graziani going to do with it? Can they close the gap? 21 points. Find out. 15-0 on the line.
This monster hit is brought to you by Champ Sports, where sport lives.